Blutbad.
Hello and welcome back to another behind-the-scenes toy photography video. This week I'll show you how I set up the diorama for this shot, which I call Ice Cave Ambush 2. I'll also show you how I edited my image in Photoshop. These figures were all from Star Wars The Black Series. We've got Hunter, Echo, and Tech, Wrecker and Omega, all from the Bad Batch, as well as this Wampa. To begin creating this ice scene, I spread a bunch of flour on my concrete ground surface, then turned on my background TV. Next, I turned on my lighting setup, which I'll give you a better look at later before I move on to editing. I 3D printed these rocks specifically for this scene. I'll leave a link to the models in the description. To give the rocks an extra bit of icy shine, I covered them in plastic wrap and sprinkled some more flour on top. With the scenery in place, it was time to pose and place my figures. Wrecker and the Wampa were my main subjects, so I used a shallow depth of field and placed them front and center. Then I filled in the background and foreground with the rest of the batch. My final touch was to add a single pink LED to illuminate Omega, simulating the glow from her energy bow. Lights out and time to shoot. But before we move on to editing, let me give you a better look at the lighting setup. I had a cool white ring light front and center, an LED panel light off to the side for fill, a smaller panel light there for backlight, another small panel light to illuminate Tech and Echo, and of course the single pink LED. On to editing. Here was my starting image. There were quite a few touch-ups I wanted to make on this. The first was to add adjustment layers for levels, color balance, hue, and saturation. Next, I used the healing brush tool and content aware fill to remove all the articulation joints from my figures. After adding a custom vignette, I used the pen tool to create a selection around the energy on Omega's bow before using the brush tool and layer effects to make it glow. Following that, I used the dodge and burn tools to do some fine-tuning on the lighting. Lastly, I made some alterations to the Wampa's mouth to eliminate the glare on the glossy black paint and brighten up the teeth. So once again, here's my starting image. And here's where I ended up. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button and checking me out on Instagram. Thanks, and until next time.